terminology that people haven't heard before, and it's better to talk about it on land a little bit, so when we stay on the water, you guys will know what we're talking about. So, this area here between the jib and the main, when you're going upwind, is commonly referred to as the slot. All right, and the slot between the jib and the main has a huge influence on the overall sail configuration, the overall flow of the wind through the sails. First thing, if you're going to just take one thing out of this quick snippet, know that on any boat with a jib and a main, the wind sees your sail plan as a unit. The wind doesn't know that one thing is the jib and the other is the main. All the wind sees is one airfoil. And it just happens to be an airfoil that has a hole in the middle of it, right, called the slot. But the wind sees the jib and the main, everything as one unit. So you need to trim the sails as one unit. You don't want to just trim the jib without knowing how the main is trimmed, or vice versa. So does that make sense so far? And it's easier to see from the coach boat where we're sitting, because we can see both sails from a distance. But when you're in the sailboat, you still have to make a conscious effort to look down below the boom and check this slot and see what it looks like. What you're usually looking for is something that's commonly called parallel leaches, okay? And basically that just means that the leach of the jib here, this plane, right, is roughly parallel to this plane, to the mainsail, right? So how could they be not parallel? Well, if the jib was really tightly trimmed and the main was out, then they are pointing towards each other. They're not parallel. They're pointing towards each other. Or if the jib is really far out and the main's super tight trimmed, then they're not parallel because they're pointing away from each other. So it's a simple concept of getting this plane parallel to this plane, but there's some subtleties to it. Does everybody know what twist is? So twist refers to, if we look up at the leach of this mainsail, the difference in angle between the bottom of the sail and the top of the sail. So right now, the bottom of the sail and the top of the sail are all pretty much trimmed at the same angle. You can see that they're pretty much parallel to each other. But if the boom is higher, that is now twisted open. The top of the sail, you see how the top battens are now facing out further at a wider angle than the boom is, right? Or the opposite of twisted open would be twisted shut, where the top of the sail is more closed off than the bottom. So that's really related to the bridle that you just heard from Deirdre. Your bridle height, the higher your bridle, the more your main will twist open, which is great in light wind. The more your bridle is down, or the more bang you put on, the more your mainsail will twist shut. Does that make sense? Does everybody feel like they could explain twist to their mom or something when they got home? And they'd probably get it. And so the twist of the main and the jib also want to be in sync with each other, right? And so you can play with how much you put on. Another little trick is, if you want to twist the jib open a little bit, this is getting a little esoteric here, but if you want to twist the jib open, you can actually take the windward sheet and just move it up the mast, and that changes the sheeting angle slightly and will open up the leach a little bit. But regardless of all that fanciness, just know that the two sails need to be trimmed in sync with each other.